How did New York Times bestselling author Sally Hepworth end up in a hotel room with two complete strangers on the first night of her U.S. book tour for The Soulmate?
I said to my editor, I told her the story and she said, if you wrote this, Sally, no one would ever believe it.
That's just one of the hilarious stories you'll hear in this chat with the world's most smiley crime writer. Hi, it's Angie from HEC Books, where we talk with authors about their latest titles. Click the subscribe button to see all our conversations, and make sure to stick around to find out how Aussie Sally Hepworth is breaking writer stereotypes. Welcome, Sally Hepworth, back to St. Louis.
It is so good to be back.
We're so happy you're here after kind of a rocky start to the U.S. tour that you had.
It's been an interesting tour so far because I think I might have told some of you last time that I have a drama every time I come to the States. And last time it was that my cash card stopped working. And I do attract a lot of drama, but I like to learn from my mistakes. So this time I came with this bag full of cash, right? I
don't know if you should be telling people this.
I've spent
for your
most
safety.
of it now. Yeah. On shoes. But I came with this bag of cash, seriously, because I thought, what problem can exist that money can't solve?
It's great theory.
And then I found one at LA airport when I flew from Melbourne to LA, which is a 16-hour flight. And then I went to wait for my layover to the red eye to New York, which was at 10 p.m. And when we got to the gate to get on the 10 p.m. flight, we were told that our flight had been delayed by 13 hours. And that's what everyone said, at the gate. And I was still optimistic. I thought, well, I've got my cash. They'll put us in a hotel. What can possibly go wrong? So then I went to the desk and I discovered that there were no hotels because every hotel in the LA airport area had been sold out for Wrestlemania.
Who knew?
I mean, did you know? I didn't know that was a thing, but it was honestly Wrestlemania. And so I was I said, well, what do we do? Do we sleep here? And they said, well, we're closing the lounge in 15 minutes. And so I'm standing there with my cash and not even my bag, because my bag's been checked through. And then I sidled up to this woman who seemed like she knew what she was doing. There's always one. And she was on the phone and she seemed to be making some progress. So I heard her say that she'd found a hotel room and I said, is there another one? And she said, hang on a second. Yes, there is. I said, great. And then another man who's also travelling alone, he's across the other side of the airport, he heard and he said, I'll have a room too. Wonderful.
She's becoming a travel agent for the entire flight.
Anyone want a room?
You're right.
Now, the room was a 2-star room. It was one of those strip hotel rooms that you see on Breaking Bad where prostitutes go to die. But I was like, it's okay, it's a room. So the three of us got into a cab and we went to this hotel, these 3 strange people. I'm one of the strange people. And first hotel, I took them to the wrong place because I'm not good with directions. Second hotel was the right hotel, but they'd booked us for the next night. Third hotel had 1 room, and then there was another hotel that had another room. So at this point, me and Lorraine, my new friend, said, we'll share. Mark, the man, bye-bye. So Mark went off. Lorraine and I went into this room. We took it in turns to put on, brush our teeth and put on our Qantas pajamas. And then we hopped into the bed. There's one bed.
This woman who you've known for what?
Oh, like an hour and a half. And then, just when you think, this can't get any worse, we're just flicked off the light and I hear this 2-star hotel, right? I'm like, Lorraine, did you hear that? And Lorraine was a bit hard of hearing, so she's like, no. I said, someone's knocking at the door. She said, who would be knocking at the door? It's like, oh, okay. And then even louder. And so then Lorraine and I are up like this, and we're going to the door in our pajamas, and we're like, who is it? And we hear, it's Mark. And Mark has gone to his hotel to find out that it's fully booked for Wrestlemania, and he's come back and he needs somewhere to stay. So then Mark did not have his Qantas pajamas. So he slept not on the bed, but like at the end of the bed with a few of our blankets and pillows in his electric blue boxer shorts. And I kept my cash tucked on my side. And that was my first night in LA.
Sally. It makes you appreciate her being here that much more, doesn't it? What did your husband say about all this when you called to tell him?
Well, the funny thing is that when I lay down to go to sleep, I was like a ninja. I was like, if Mark tries anything, I am going, like, I was alert and I was ready. And then I was dead asleep and waking up in the morning. So, but as I was drifting off, I thought to myself, when my husband finds my body, or when someone finds my body, how are they going to unpick this? Like, he left me flying on an international tour from Melbourne to New York, and then my body's found in a strip hotel in LA with a strange middle-aged man and woman.
In his boxers.
In his boxers. Well, you know, the good thing is that I am looking for a new book idea. But I said to my editor, I told her the story, and she said, if you wrote this, Sally, no one would ever believe it. And it's true, right? The Wrestlemania part.
Right. It's absurd. It's absurd.
It's absurd.
So I've heard you say a couple of times, bless your cotton socks, which we do not say here, but I love.
Do you not say it?
We do not say that, but I kind of want to say that. Have you heard, since you've been on tour, are there any American sayings that we say that you just think, what in the world?
I have been blessed by being raised on a steady diet of American television. And so I feel like I know, even if it's not a word I use, I know what they're talking about. But now, because this is my third American tour, I've jumped ahead, and now I can almost I know where I'm going to be confused and how to correct it. So when I go to Starbucks and they ask my name, I say, Sally. It's the A. You've got to hold on to the A for ages. Sally. If you don't say that, you get Tully or Sully or Sailor, but not Sally.
Sally. Got it.
I've learnt to say sweater instead of jumper. I've learnt to say elevator instead of lift. So I'm just killing it, sorry. But I do love when I get one of those really like a southern, you know, sweet baby girl. I got a few of them, and or a really New York, you know, cab driver or something. It's magic. I understand them, but I'm also not really listening because I'm just basking in it. I'm like, oh my God, what show am I on now? I've been on Breaking Bad.
It's how we feel when we're listening to you. I just love it. It's how we feel. Sally is the brightest person, not only in the clothing she wears, but in her personality. She's just a joy to be around, which is funny when I tell family members and friends, oh, I'm interviewing one of my favorite authors. She's so bright and cheery. Oh, what kind of books does she write? Murder and crime. Do you get a kick out of that?
I couldn't believe it the first time I saw my books shelved in the crime section. And I immediately thought I have to go and buy some new clothes, which is usually my response to most things.
Right.
But I thought, yes, I need more black. I need glasses. I need bangs. And I need to be more serious. You know, and I can't.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're much more fun this way. Yeah.
But you do kind of have that it's a cliche for a reason, isn't it? However, I know personally quite a few crime authors now, and we're all a delight. and the humour, I think, is definitely there with all the crime writers that I know. I'm probably the most smiley of the crime writers that I know. But look, I'm happy to break any stereotypes and that crime writers have to wear black, and I'm just going to sit here in pink.
Give us a thumbs up if Sally made you smile in this video. And watch part 2, where Sally talks about her latest New York Times bestseller, The Soulmate. Plus, which Hollywood A-listers are working on taking her books to the screen.